together. So that was an honor, to be honest. So they Colorado, Jersey, I mean, they were top. Florida. However, they'll do that. So I'll be joining. I've also got invited to join the issue1.org. Look it up. It's Democracy Live. I'll be forming. There's 3 of us in the state of North Carolina. Durham County 30 will be on with me. That's coming up this year. Last year we offered 4-H camps, the first ever, because I said I wanted to read and let them. So we done a clover loop, older one this time. I did, and I don't know if it's because it's and we'll see how we can get just 4-H for the next, and maybe get some kind of but in some of this stuff. But we was going to let them run an election and vote for their favorite ice cream, candy bars, and have the party at the end and let them tally the ballot. And I voted sticker contest for their selection. So that way, November, it will be pre-print something that our kids from Yancey County has drawn themselves, and that way they can do it. And we're going to let them do the vote here precinct. So we'll send those to the precinct for the parents vote. So that way we're excited about that. The kids are excited about that. So I'm excited. I don't know if y'all have been on our webpage, but in Hughes, that is helping us. He is a gold install. And so through his scholarship in Mars Field, he is helping us in order to be able to receive that scholarship. He is so excited. So thankful. You know, we got our links are up today. We posted sample ballots to it today, so you can go on and do your voter look at sample ballots now. Today was the beginning of absentee voting. Our first ballots went out in the mail this morning. We had 30. So we can start spreading the word that we are. Like I said, we've got training going on over there. Right now, next week we go into testing our machines. They don't know where or every election before the machine they have to be tested. And they have to come out and understand to bylaws and make the precincts. So that's going to be taking place next week. We got a mock election to be held, and the reason we do that is because everybody in the state will be reporting just like we are on election night. So there's up some system that shuts everything down. We've got time between the 29th and election to work those kinks out of it, so our reporting will go back. Early voting starts February the 20th, 8:30 in the morning, and it will run through the 5th. And we have personnel. And we do have a Facebook page too. So look us up on Facebook. We got our first post today. Absentee voting, so we got that going on. I'm going to say goal was to do this for this. And we also have we was just lucky to have. So we're trying to start this one fresh with a new set of eyes. These kids are fabulous. They're wonderful. Today that Abraham, their director resigned, and they're tomorrow. So that's really important. So I think we can end the traveling some to Abraham because they're in my position. Did it? That's good job experience for them, but whatever. So with all this going on, early voting, it should be. I think put on the county webpage, the hours, the days, the hours, and the times. I said, oh, I've got right now. Do you have any questions about that? Yes, well, we're working on precincts because we know now that Egypt Range Town, their fire station is up. They do have heat. Am I right? I started to say there's not heat by election day. If not, we've got Mr. Davis that we stored from police supplies to be able to stand out. But when we be able, Egypt Range Town will go back to this election. Jacks Creek and Green Mountain having commissions. The board made the proposal. We're waiting on the state board. that Brush Creek, Green Mountain will go in Brush Creek. And the school has let us have Blue Ridge. Safer for our children, because it came to middle school. It's one. It's for fun on that. And so we want to reach because that gym parking is not even in the regular parking for the people to get off the bus. They can lock it. So they propose to cross the Creek and Jack Street into it at Blue Ridge. But that's not good. We don't have the okay. Because we didn't know where to go. And I understand. I heard the reason why or the other is something else. So. But other than that, everybody else is going to be exactly where they're. We're excited. I'll be honest with you, it feels good. I've worked better in these situations. The website looks great. It does, don't it? I was proud of it. I was very proud of it. These kids are wonderful. We're hoping they'll be the next consumer, but that's what we're doing.
You have questions for me? Yeah.
Any to the public about any dates or anything. That's the best way to spread stuff, word of mouth.
Anybody got?
Thank you. If you have any questions, yes, Ingrid.
Why did you hear about that idea of sticker contest? That sounds like a lot of fun.
They will be. I'm excited too. I think the kids will enjoy it. Well, we are located across the street. Please come by, get flyers, get whatever you need. We'll provide you with anything that you need for your election or voting needs.
Appreciate that. And we appreciate it. On to the next one. All right, next is our registered deeds, Ms. Susan Jones. I'm gonna give. Thank you for coming, Susan. Appreciate it. Please, Susan. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, it's good to see everybody. I'm Susan Job, and I'm so happy to serve as your register of deeds. And it sounds so small, register of deeds, but there's so much that we're actually taking responsibility for. Last year, can y'all hear me? I don't have it. Okay. So in 2025, we recorded 5,040 documents. Those are not just deeds. We have several things that includes. And as far as just basic deeds, we recorded 972. But there are varieties of deeds, with quick-claim deeds, just all kinds. I'll get into those details. As far as the vital records, we have marriage, death, and birth. In marriages, we recorded roughly 200 marriages that we issued. There, we did quite a few deaths as well. We had roughly 170 on the deaths. In births, we had 7, 4 here in the county. So the way that we have those, if the death occurred here, we have the death. But if they were transported to a hospital, then it's in the county that they actually pass away in. Same with births, same with marriages, their house in the county that it occurred. But we had 4 little boys born in this county and 3 little girls. But yeah, we don't have a hospital. So those are on birth or these in the car in the hospital. It's in the birth, so I got some exciting news. So beginning this year, we are actually able to issue certified copies of birth certificates for adoptees. And that is huge. Used to, those were sealed in Raleigh. Now that's the current certificate. That's the adoptive parents. They're the ones that's listed as the parents now. We had to go through special training. So I'm, along with all my staff, we're trained to issue those certificates now. But I've worked so hard on that. I've worked for about 3 years trying to get this to pass. So I'm very, very excited about that.
But yeah, I got some of my other registered colleagues on board helping. Y'all actually signed a resolution on it. It's all work or whatever, but we don't. Now, we can issue those if they're born in this county. So if they're born outside of the county, they have to go to the local register deeds where they were born. But still, it's quick. It's $10 what they pay. Versus they were having to pay right at $100 and wait anywhere from 6 months to a year to get the copies or a copy of the birth certificate. Exactly, and they have to make an appointment, and it's really time consuming, very expensive, but now it's so much more accessible for them, so we're really excited about that. And they are, Vital Records has told us that they are willing to let us do the out of county births with us as well, but we have to get through this process first. So it's coming, it's not here yet, but we will be able to issue those just like we did out of counties for those that are not adopted. So everything has to be in the state. I can't do it out of state, anything, but anything in the state, which, I can help. If I can't do it, I can help you get the information that you need to get what you need. And if you have a need for anything, please contact me, let me know, because I'm here to help. And that's the biggest news is the adoptees birth certificates. That's the big news now. Do you guys have any questions? That's been our main focus for a while now, so we're pretty excited. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I was just curious. Give us 7 birthdays.
I know there was one in October that we thought they were.
And our category.
About the EMS, they got their. They got the care.
Yeah, one of the births had, it actually was born at home accidentally, and it was transported mom and baby to the hospital in Buchan County, and the record almost ended up there, but we were able to get it back, so we have it here. Yeah, we were pretty excited because we don't get a lot of ours here.
That's a story.
Any questions from anybody out here? Yeah. Y'all know where to find me if y'all need me.
On the agenda. Next on the agenda, some exciting news here from Maryland Community College. Dr. Boyd's supposed to be the speaker, but we have Brian Peterson. He's going to give us a good announcement and an introduction. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
And y'all know I'm not John Boyd because he has a lot more hair than I do. But anyway, I'm proud to be here tonight. We've been looking for a president for a good while. Interviewed a lot of people, went through a lot of interviews, and it's a long process, but it's worth it. And while we hate to lose Dr. Boyd, we've got another good one coming. And it's my honor to introduce Dr. Aaron Gabriel, new president of Maywood Community College. Dr. Gabriel brings years of leadership experience, most recently as superintendent in Newton Conover City Schools. And Aaron championed academic excellence and community partnerships, and his vision and dedication to education will guide Maywood toward continued growth and opportunity to continue what's been going on under Dr. Boyd's leadership. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Aaron.
Good to have you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Tickled to be up here. Appreciate Brian, the trustees, their confidence.
Thank you, Brian.
So look forward to being part of the community in all 3 counties. But if I can, while Ms. Joe was up here presenting, I noticed that you mentioned marriages and death right there beside each other. And it reminded me of a quick story. True. So I have a friend who, when he was younger, the only time he ever put on a suit, because they had to go to a wedding funeral. So in the middle of the afternoon, his dad told him to go in and put a suit on. Of course, he was huffy about it, figured based on the time of day, it was probably a funeral, but it was actually a wedding. And, as he was walking out the car, he said, "Dad, whose funeral are we going to anyway?" And he said, "Son, I couldn't have put it any better myself."
Very nice of you. Thank you, sir. All right. Next, we have our county manager's report that went off, so it looks like she's got several items to update us on. Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome, thank you. Got a few little things, project updates. As you know, we've been touring some of the, new facilities on our, inventory there, the sheriff's office and the dispatch center come along beautifully. We also have, Breakwater Park that's just finishing up a few punch list items. We went and looked at that. We've had the Charlie Brown Road, water or sewer line. That's a go now, so everything has been signed, supposed to started this last week. So due to the weather, I'm not sure that they did, but their PP Howard will be moving on that. Wells is going in, as you know, at the Blue Ridge Elementary School. There's 2 wells being drilled currently. Had a couple of change orders on those just for some gravel and stuff because it's been so wet. I think they're on the 2nd well now. So we've got a lot of projects going on, still renovating the whole bank building. We have a group coming in there. They're starting actual plans. We'll be bringing those to you before long. And also, the Helene damage too. We have a lot of stuff going on before Helene, a lot of projects finishing up, and a lot of projects starting. So also working with the town on Pine Swamp, wastewater treatment plant. They're almost issue notice to proceed. We've been having to push those folks along a little bit, just bickering back and forth about timelines and that kind of thing. And flows, and as you know, that's all ARPA money and different things. So all those projects we talked about, all that's ARPA money, all that's grant money, grant funded. Been putting for some additional grants because, as you know, we're going through the FEMA portal and all the stuff from Helene, but we're also looking to pick up those extra grants now that's out for the Helene counties. We have picked up some paving money recently since we last met, about $85,000. Morgan got that grant wrapped up from some Helene funds, so we'll be paving up at the Lincoln Park at the daycare and the baseball facility there. It's all kind of one little parking lot there, but also up on the hill. David's excited about that. I'm sure he's sitting there smiling a little bit, but get them out of the mud hole and get some drains and stuff fixed that Helene didn't help any for sure. We have some recycling center programs that fixing to go in by the 30th of January. We're putting in for some additional trucks. That was in our 5-year plan, looking at maybe hauling our waste ourselves, especially from the convenience centers, the recycling centers, to East Yancey for cardboard and metal yard and different things, but also to the landfill. And in that, we have asked for, we get a lot of wood products up there between Mitchell and Yancey County, so we've asked for a grant. We can ask for up to about $5 million. So far, we have about 2.5 million that we're ready to put in the queue for. So still, I have some things out if we need additional money there that we can ask for to the tune of about 2.5 more million. So we're looking for the future, not just for right now and what we need today or tomorrow, but we're looking what will help us and save money for the next 5 years, 10 years. We always try to have that 5-year projection and maybe looking on to 10. The best we can do, we can't prepare for the Helenes necessarily, but now we can a lot better than we could because we all see it, what the worst of the worst could be. So we got a lot of good things going, a lot of projects still moving, a lot of projects in the middle of the project that we're closing out some too. So that's good. We're able to close out some of our ARC money that we wrapped up. Of course, we have the East Yancey wastewater treatment plant that we're going back in and fixing some Helene damage there. That'll be on the FEMA portal. We've got the Cane River Park that's on the Helene FEMA portal, and we'll have So we'll be able to update you a little bit more, bring you some design. We've had some cost estimates come in. Everything's uploaded into the portal and we're going through the queues. FEMA. So, the wheels are moving. We're starting to see some funds flow in. The last 2 weeks since the first of the year, everything was kind of on pause during the holiday. So we're starting to see some money flow a bit. So,
What everybody needs to understand and realize that, it's taken, 8, 9, 10 months to assess, to get everything in to where we can give some information and some updates and some different things going on. Because we've had to wait on the bureaucracy and, money and the shutdown and everything else. So anyway, we just now get to where we can be prudent about giving those things out, and that's coming, so.
yeah, you're right. There's a timeline. You can't skip from A to Z. You got to go through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. You got to go through the whole queue before it's obligated. Once it's obligated from FEMA saying, yeah, you can pay this, then state has 45 days to pay. So it goes back and forth for a while between FEMA and also the state before we receive our funds. But we're starting to see some, and they're working on the debris funds to come in. And that's, of course, a large chunk of our funds because we have a lot of debris, And what we have in the portal now, that's going to change. It's going to grow more. And as that grows, the FEMA versions will change because, like rebuilding the park, they're giving us the architect and engineering money right now, but later on it'll be construction. But we can't just get the whole kit and caboodle at one time. It's step by step. So but we have to do that. We don't want to miss anything. We don't want to lose any money by rushing through it. But yet we want to be timely as we possibly can because we want it built back and running as well. So our department heads want it, our citizens want it, and we want it. So the faster we get things built back, the better. But we don't want to lose a dollar up for a nickel. We don't want to push it through too quick and lose what we could have. So we are working very diligent in doing that, and also the reporting back on the grants and stuff that we do have and put them for new grants that we don't have that we're eligible for. So our office between Brandy and Lisa and Morgan and myself and Angie, we work very diligently trying to get those in and trying to get those reporting done so we don't have any hiccups. And also we're helping with the hazard mitigation. So a lot of that's coming through us. Some of the private property debris removal. Some of that paperwork comes through us and we shuffle it, and Angie does a good job at getting that in. We're starting to see some hazard mitigation stuff move for people's coming in. They've hired different firms the state has to come in and do some elevations on those homes. Because some of them, that's what they needed to be able to build back. That's what they needed to solve their problem. Not all, but there's 10 or 11. And also they're starting to move forward on the demo work. That's considered part of the debris. But then again, it has to jump through all the hoops so that our citizens don't miss out money. If they had known this, they could have got that. If they could have got that, they wouldn't have done this. So between the PPDR program, that private property, and the hazard mitigation, it's got to mesh so our citizens don't lose that money of what they might do. So Angie does a good job at shuffling those two programs together and helping those citizens know where they stand. And then us trying to nudge our partners and agencies trying to give them help, Can we push this along? This person needs this before they can do that. Like them up. So it's the wheels are being greased. We're pushing them, but we can only get them to move as fast as they'll let us. So just know that we're working hard and tirelessly to pick up those coins, put them in our pockets so we can pull them out later and benefit the county in the future. I really think that when we all are all said and done, hopefully our goal is to be stronger than what we were going in. If we had to go through this, how do we come out better? We didn't have a choice whether or not we went through it. We all went through it and more resilient. That's right. Nobody could write a book that encompassed everything that went on there in our lane. There's no emergency plan out there that said when you come out of the door there, I'll either see you one. So we definitely could teach the class, and some of these folks behind me here could teach a class on it too, on their side of emergency, and the sheriff's office. So we were all at the EOC together that night, and that's something that I'll never forget. And needless to say, nobody batted an eye or sleep. All right, so that's kind of what's going on in the county right now and what's went on the last, couple months there, and getting through, between Thanksgiving and New Year's. There's not much that happens at the state level, or especially the, federal level necessarily. So we're picking up and being able to see some things move now. I got a couple of things here, grant resolution, for the environmental equality. This is the grant resolution for cycling infrastructure. Thought we'll go ahead and get this due the 30th of January. And so this is for the $2.5 million that we're going to ask for from the environmental quality folks. It is only for the Helene-stricken counties, and they have upped it to around 39 instead of the 19. That's what's on the grant. They have about $25 million, and which is not much when you spread it out between 39 counties, but everybody can ask up to $5 million. So we've tried to grease the wheel and call our constituents there and talk to them and see what we get a little leg up. So they've said they'll review our application not if there's any kind of, we're trying to do it there, and there is no match on this grant. But again, there's no match on this grant. It's free money, if you will, for recycling centers and the improvement thereof. So you can only ask for certain things. It's not salaries or anything. It's for infrastructure, new containers, equipment. So we have a cardboard baler in there. We have 2 roll-off containers in there. We have a grinder in there for the landfill, because as you know, we have a lot more woody debris. And after March 28th, unless they expand the SBR contract again, we'll have even more woody debris. Would help Yancey and Mitchell up there on that. And then we have 1 road tractor that would haul a trailer to Kirby hauled it right now, but we could haul our cardboard and recycle with it. So I would ask that you approve this resolution for that grant, and we will send it in as the commissioner's support. There's no match, so can't lose anything.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And none opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Another thing is skipping down to the resolution. As you know, there's a lady comes. Brent Phillips came and spoke to you guys about the parkway, and she's continued to reach out. They're an advocate for the parkway and how they spend their money and what they need, and kind of philanthropic partner for them. And they would like for the commissioners to go ahead and approve the resolution that she submitted when she presented a few months ago. We didn't take it up then, it wasn't something that she had really pushed. And so she had asked us if we did get that resolution approved. And so it's really just for repairs and renovating or implementing any kind of new policies or collaboration and support on the parkway, the Blue Ridge Parkway. Since so many people visit, it's one of the largest visiting areas in the United States. So she would like for you to approve that.
Discussion on the Blue Ridge Rising resolution. Just asking for our support. We're not asking for anybody.
No,
We're
ma'am.
not asking for anything from the county other than just support that they can continue funding to help. And basically, what I understand, they kind of fill in the gaps that the feds and the state doesn't do. It's basically what the county. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of gaps. Yeah, there's plenty of gaps. Different type of gap. Yeah. Any discussion? We have a motion. Do I hear a second? All those in favor say aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Lee.
All right.
She'll be glad.
Oh, yeah, she'll be tickled on that. Just no financial support or anything that they're asking. Only the resolution there. I'll ask at this time for Christie to come up about the 2026 EMS rate adjustments. You know, we have this every year. Uh, Collections group or billing, third-party billing company lets us know where we stand and what the calls, the miles, all that goes. So Christie, take it away. Oh,
While you're getting ready, Chrissy, thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you do. You guys are knocking it out of the park. We appreciate it, so thank you.
Thank you. So the ambulance inflation factor of 2026 has been set for 2% with Medicare Part B ambulance fee schedule. So our billing company, Colleton, has suggested that we adjust our rates to be more in line with what we can bill for and what we can collect. And the list that you have in front of you, the two biggest increases would be for the advanced level support 2 and specialty care transport. That increase was $28.41 on the ALS level 2 and then $64.71 on the specialty care transport. So that, along with the ALS level 2, that's the largest increase that you're going to see, but that's due to the complexity of the calls and the number of interventions that's typically performed. So that would be like our cardiac arrest patients, patients who we have to paralyze, sedate, and intubate, put on a breathing machine, a ventilator, and then managing multiple IV drips. The highest specialty care rate is a baseline of $1,361.84, and that is with the proposed increase of $64.71. Our mileage is going to stay the same, $20.79 a mile for the first 17 miles. Mileage over 18 remains the same at $14.13. And then our standby charges that were previously implemented, those are going to stay the same. And these standby charges are not for any local events like the crafts fair or anything about our local community. This is for the larger scale out of town events where the participants pay entry fees like the assault on Mount Mitchell, things of that nature. $200 per hour for a staff paramedic ambulance, and then $100 per hour for a staff paramedic QRV.
This is not about.
No, nothing community within Yancey County. We don't charge for standby.
Any other questions? Discussion? Now it's time.
I will say one thing, in support of these rates, you know, we say, well, that's one at $60, that's this, that, and other. But you gotta take into consideration the meds that we get, those prices go up too. So it's not a rate that's just going up. They do, because of the medical, you know, necessity that she said, a lot of the extra meds. And that's across the board.
Your motion. Accept these rate changes. We have a motion. Do I hear a second? Second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christie. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
I got two more items there and then I'll finish. I would like to ask our new tax administrator, Jessica McIntosh, to come up. We need to, for you guys to make an official appointment there. And she can take her oath. She can take her oath of office tonight. As you know, Danny, retired there at the end of the year. We gratefully appreciate him, and we also appreciate Jessica and her working in the office there and willing to take on this. And she knows that she has 2 years from tonight to get her schooling in. Of course, that is a 2-year process a lot of times because it just depends on when the state offers those classes. So, and she's already been attending some and has some coming up in March and soon. So, and been in touch with the school of government folks to know when the others are coming up. So she's aware of that. And she said, when's my date start? Does it start on January 1st? Does it start on the 12th? I said, we'll just start on the 12th. So we appreciate her and she has her own appointments tonight. I guess we'll let her.
What we'll need to do to make sure that we don't appoint either a 2 or 4 year term, she will have to fill out the balance of the unexpired term. That's the maximum cost. So just make sure that we appoint that day, and then from that day, then put it back on, those run on, I think it's consecutive. The 2 year terms, then
2 or 4. Or 4.
you have to, so for all, would be to make sure we look at whatever term is left on Dane's appointment, because those are set at that 2 year term. And then when that.
Still have her
on, yes. for a year.
So we'll need you to make that appointment first.
All right, so we need to make this appointment as everybody, so they, for some clarity, say the remainder of Danny's term. And at that point, then we will put Jessica on for the full. So any discussion? We have a motion. Do I hear a second? And a second. All those in favor say aye. Hearing none, vote. Yeah. Well, she can sing, Brian can dance. I've heard Brian sing, so we definitely need Jessica to sing.
That's administrative. Raise your hand and on top of place your side.
I, Jessica McIntosh, do hereby submit the following oath as the Yancey County Tax Administrator. I, Jessica McIntosh, do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as Yancey County Tax Administrator, so help me God. I, Jessica McIntosh, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, and that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution and said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God. I, Jessica McIntosh, do solemnly swear that I will well and truly execute the duties of the office of Yancey County Tax Administrator according to the best of my skill and ability, according to law, so help me God. Thank you.
Well, welcome aboard. It's not new. Appreciate your work. Now, before we move forward, we need to just say a big thank you. Congratulations to Danny McIntosh. Danny, we've said this already before, but Danny has served diligently, tirelessly, has been there. Our beck and call, and the public's beck and call, and we really appreciate you stepping in and filling in and doing your duties well. We thank you for that. Appreciate it. Congratulations to you too on the retirement. So let's give them a all right.
I have one more thing. Chris Stigman would like to come up and talk about
Some more exciting news. Some good news.
main opportunities here.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, thanks for squeezing me in. I'll be quick. Couple updates just from last Friday's Governor Stein's Western North Carolina Recovery Meeting.
He's assigned four new regional coordinators. We have a new regional coordinator. Her name is Millie Smith. She'll be handling Swananoa, Eastern Buncombe County, Mitchell, and Yancey. Now, her background is with nonprofits working with local government on grants and development projects. So when they publish the slides, they haven't done it yet on the governor's website. All of her contact information's in there. So Millie Smith, she seemed like a good one. Couple things on the good news front. You know, when we last spoke, we had talked about the biochar project and the wildfire mitigation project, and we've been lobbying the state DEQ to fund a wildfire mitigation project. What we've been submitting to them was to do 300-yard perimeter ring around Mount Mitchell community, Mount Air community, and Cattail Creek community. And those communities were high risk because they back up against large spans of forest with steep slopes. You know, the flames go up and we have a lot of down timber. So we're trying to create a fire break. We have been lobbying them to put this in their grant, the next grant submittal that's coming out. Okay. And they came to us and said, well, how about we just direct fund this? And then we said, yes. Okay. So there's good news, bad news. The good news is we're getting $1 million for this project. We had asked for $3 million. Okay, so the $3 million was based on taking 120,000 cubic yards of debris out of the forest. So we will have to do something less than that. And we may not be able to do all three communities. Right? But we'll take this as a win. Yeah, Andy Miller came to me Friday and said, you guys are getting $1 million and we're working through the details. And it may be direct funding and not in the form of a grant. So happy for that. And we will take that win. In last month's meeting, I mentioned I would be coming back during this session to discuss the submittal of the EDA grant for the amphitheater project on the county property off Highway 80 South. This grant is a $1.4 billion federal grant, and it's to support disaster and economic recovery beyond what was already there prior to the disaster. So a couple criteria for this: it could be a state or county or city or public and private nonprofits acting in cooperation with local government. We meet both those criteria. Has to be in an area that was declared a disaster in 23 or 24. We meet that criteria. And it has to, one of the criteria for eligible projects is community amenity. We meet that criteria. Okay. There is a non-construction portion of this that can be between $100,000 and $5 million. Okay. This grant we're writing is for the $5 million. There is a 20% match to this grant. The property that the county owns off 80 South, based on the $1.3 million appraisal of the property, minus the Chief Cares property, leaves $764,000. That's eligible towards the match. The $1.8 million water line project that will go up to the property is also eligible for the match. So we're getting enough collateral to be way over the $1 million. So there will be no out-of-pocket expense if we get the $5 million. The $5 million will be used for civil engineering, architectural design of the facility, permitting, the DOT, traffic studies, and the technical equipment consulting and design. There's a lot of the technical equipment that goes with an outdoor amphitheater like this. So I'm asking for permission and a resolution to submit this grant on behalf of the county for the amphitheater project. And I'm open for questions. And this is phase one. This is. We estimate this to be at least a 5-year fundraising initiative. Okay. The total project we estimate to be a $30 million project.
And that, I know you discussed that with us before, but this, just for clarity, this is $5 million is not going to get this done. We just want everybody to understand. Any discussion? Any questions for Chris? Donnie? I don't know if Donnie has one. Shane, second said yes to the eggs. But we have discussed it.
And like I said, it's just to get up to one, get the plan going. No one wants available. It would just be the tip of the iceberg, some planning stages there to be able to move forward.
And the match is already made. That's a big one.
And I will say, their portion that they're on, and then the dogwood, the water line up there. So the county's not out to begin with, so. I think it's worth a shot.
Absolutely. So we have a motion and we have a second. All right. Those in favor say aye. And none opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Here's a one sheet, girl.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Thanks for all your work. I know you're trying to wear many hats, but we appreciate that. And the one you had on tonight was pretty snazzy, by the way. All right. Ms. Lee, is that it? So the floor clears for the county commissioners report. Next on the agenda, does any commissioners have anything to discuss, add, talk about, bring up, new business, old business?
Mentioned that, we had the opportunity to go to the leadership conference, down in Greensburg. Last week.
Yes. Wednesday, Thursday.
Learned a lot of good information about, different areas of leadership in the county. Also, mainly, of it is, and I think it's in May, they're doing the Association of County Commissioners doing a 100 counties prepared conference on disaster preparedness. I had attended that conference prior to Wayne, because I found it useful, but be a good thing to try to attend. But it's pretty interesting stuff.
And I also thought that the conference was extremely helpful. Learning a whole lot about the legal aspects of running a meeting and business and closed session and public comments on a lot of different things. There's some gray areas, but there are governing factors and general statutes that we have to. All right. Anybody else? All right. Next on the agenda is our county attorney's report, John Ross. He says there's nothing from him. Next on the agenda is our public comments. We do have two speakers signed up tonight. And as always, we appreciate everybody taking part in the process. He's no stranger to us. Our first speaker is Ms. Kathy Westfield. She's speaking about community spirit. Thanks for coming, Kathy. Got 3 minutes.
I want to thank you for the new little garden. I know before you start doing things, what your plans are, big plans are for the future, as well as what you are doing. You really want to know what you're really doing. And that leads me to want to speak about something that you did under 16. I hope to talk about it in October, but was so upset by the hateful comments about the tourism board that I was unable to attend in November and December, and was going to let it go. But in December, the comments on Burnsville on Facebook page and in the Mountain Press. 4 years ago, the beautiful Burnsville project didn't have funds for flowers on the town square. So with the permission and blessing of the town, community members, including a former member, donated plants. Biltmore donated some of their things to us. Citizens planted, watered, weeded, which were listed on the homegrown national park site as a pollinator garden, which attracts a variety of insects. Then, on September 16th, without informing the gardener or the town, he brought in machines to rip out about 100 which were after blossoming pieces. They were tossed into a truck and driven away. And I'm told it was shocking to the people who saw it. You could have given the gardeners a chance to plant elsewhere. You could have informed us beforehand and asked for public opinion about what they wanted on this fair. And you did not respond to any comments that, when Mountain Express asked you for comments for the article. I'll give you, why did you hire a landscaper to redo the square funds that are needed to go elsewhere? Why did you demolish so many people enjoyed learn from? This is another example of some of the times that we've acted without transparency. And my question is, where was the community spirit?
Thank you, Captain. And next on public comment is Mr. Danny McIntosh.
Surprise!
Yeah. And as usual. She's got a lot of time left. Are you gonna yield your time to Danny? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't wanna get nothing started.
Don't work that way, does it?
No.
I'll be brief, but I want to thank everybody for everything they do. There's a lot of work going on already. I got three things I want to say real quick. One is, I couldn't do anything I've done without Jeff. Since I came here in December 2004, Jeff Boone has been there. And let me tell you, he's very good at what he does. That's very serious. And he's a great help to the tax. No doubt about that. Second thing is, I think that it's worth noting the terrible tragedy that took the life of Greg Biffle, his family, and three of his friends in a plane crash. I don't know that there'll ever be a book, a list, or whatever that would note his contributions to Western North Carolina and Yancey County during. You know, when someone of that caliber and with that influence takes an honest to goodness interest in your county, in your situation, I can only imagine the phone calls he made, the organizations he contacted, the people, you know, of his same level of influence that he said, hey, these folks need help. I need you to do this or you to do that. The Greg Biffle certainly stood up for Yancey County in Western North Carolina. So I think it's a terrible tragedy. I think it's worth noting tonight. The third thing is December the 16th, Sharon and I made our way to the Ferguson Auditorium over on the campus of ABK, where the hearing being held by the North Carolina Division of Human Services concerning a certificate of need for the construction of 129 hospital beds in Western North Carolina. We sat through 4 open presentations, 60-some speakers, 4 closing statements, and I was a fan of the Advent Health proposal when I went. But I am truly honest to goodness a proponent for them at this point in time. And I want to thank our Sheriff County EMS Director Christy Bright, Chairman Commission Chairman Jeff Whitson, and our Chamber of Commerce President Natalie Hughes, our Town Manager Heather Hockley, for showing up and representing Yancey County's best interests in that process. Now it comes to fruition. My understanding is state has 150 days, so it'll be about the middle of May when we hear something. But I appreciate y'all to take your time and make the trip and take it. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Danny. We appreciate that.
And congratulations, Jackie.
I thought she was gonna sing, the Brown's gonna dance. If that's coming for Whitson. Maybe next month. Maybe next month. Okay. Give you a month to practice, Brown. All right. Next on the agenda, wait, what is it? Item for X1. That's 11.
I'll make a motion.
2.
Adjourn.
All right, let's do it. Right here. A second. All in favor, say aye. Folks, thank you so much for coming. Second Monday of every month.